At the moment, everyone remains on contract, and the plan is to use just about everyone in regards to almost everything you said. Rebuilding the boat, we're going to look at being able to do some races on obviously on probably previous generation Volvo 70s, and everyone will be put to work. I think it's critical that you see that most of the teams here, when they went in the last few months of their build-up phase to the start, their crews were there assembling the boat ready for sailing. So it's almost more of a similar build-up to a start, but ours is going to be more compressed and with a lot more pressure on everybody.
The ambition is that we are ready to sail out of Lisbon and thereby participating in the last 2 legs. Of course, we dream and hope for more, but that is what we are aiming for as a realistic target. I'd also just want to add to what Chris said earlier about the team. I have tasked Chris Nicholson to review and assess the team, whether we have the right team to be competitive when we return to the race. It's now a different race than the one that we set out to sail when we embarked on the journey in Alicante. And Chris will conclude upon that during January, and his assessment is one that will be back 100% by the undersigned.
Since we were on the reef, the picture of the repair process has gotten better. So we're able to get the boat off the reef in better shape than we thought. So the next couple of days, you know, we're sort of sitting there on the edge of the lounge chair, waiting for the emails to come in for the extent of the repairs is going to be, but that's the process, and that gets the builders to start work almost immediately while the boat is still being shipped from Malaysia up to Italy. Obviously, we've got to see the extent of that damage, but you know, from everything that I could see, if I was to put round numbers on it, you know, I'd say that 70–80% of the deck is still usable. And then obviously there's a lot of damage on the starboard side of the hull, right forwards. You know, like what gets replaced needs to be replaced, but the main purpose of us getting the boat to Italy is to reuse as much as possible of the existing boat and structure.
The biggest challenge of this whole project is to make sure that this boat is the one design Volvo Ocean 65. And it's tricky because normally when you just add carbon it will be heavier, but it can't be different than the others. And there's very small tolerances we have on the weight, and there's small tolerances we have on the shape. But the keel, the boat has to be one design, so it has to be the same.
First, we are focused on getting back into this edition of Volvo Ocean Race and make that comeback a success, both commercially and sporting-wise. And then we will evaluate whether this team will also continue in the next edition of Volvo Ocean Race. At the stopovers, there will be representation from Team Vestas Wind to ensure that our commercial activities can be continued. But Chris Nicholson, together with the commercial team of Vestas and Powerhouse, will make a plan for that. But there will be crew members of Team Vestas Wind at all stopovers also, where we don't have a boat to sail out with.
It's really been an extremely difficult few weeks for everybody involved in this project, and but now it's almost like we've almost turned a corner, and we're able to now go and start the repair process to get back into the race. So that's the best news we've had for an awful long time, and now it's up to us to get back into the race and show what we can do.
We are hoping to get back in the race by repairing our boat at the Persico Marina shipyard in Bergamo, Italy, and be ready for the leg from Lisbon to Lorient in France. So that's our new ambition, and we expect to fulfill that ambition. To get back into the race is going to be a very, very complicated process because repairing a Volvo Ocean Race boat is not an easy task, and the race is running and you need to get it ready in time for at least a couple of legs before we hit Gothenburg. But our ambition is now, based on the information that we have received, not least from after we removed the boat from the reef and the boat was in a much better condition than we expected, that we can have the boat ready at least for Lisbon in May 2015, and thereby participating the last 2 legs of this edition of Volvo Ocean Race. When we embarked on this journey back in July, actually more precisely the 10th of July 2014, when I signed the sponsor contract with Volvo Ocean Race for a team to be called Team Vestas Wind, we entered the race later than any other team. So we did not enter this race expecting that we were going to be number one, but we expected that we'd be deeply competitive and that we would fulfill the race. But we also said that we were in Volvo Ocean Race of a bigger reason than just sailing, namely to promote wind energy and the role that wind energy plays in combating climate change, water scarcity, energy poverty. So the value for us is to continue that campaign and not to give up, to prove to the world that we can only overcome the biggest challenges for humanity if we press on, if we're persistent, and that we find solutions to the challenges that we are confronted with. And I think that's exactly what we're trying to do now, to prove that even though the Team Vestas Wind hit a reef, a very big one, we had severe damages to our boat, everybody thought that we had to give up. We press on, and we're going to make a comeback that is one of the most significant comebacks in sailing sport for the last decades, and hopefully that can inspire also outside the sailing environment and prove our campaign. So that's a lot of value for us if we can succeed in that.